The Legend of the Crystal Cave. In the small, vibrant village of Starbrook, nestled by a towering mountain range, lived a girl named Ava. Ava had a spirit as adventurous as the winds that howled through the cliffs, and she often dreamed of treasure, hidden places, and daring quests. Her greatest wish was to find the fabled Crystal Cave, a legendary location said to hold gems that sparkled with the light of the stars. One stormy evening, as Ava was exploring the woods near the village, she stumbled upon an old map, rolled up inside a cracked bottle. The map was yellowed and torn, but there was no mistaking the outline of the Crystal Cave, marked with a glowing symbol of a dragon's claw. A note was attached to the map. The cave holds the most precious of treasures, but only the brave and pure of heart can unlock its secrets. Ava's heart raced. The Crystal Cave was no myth, it was real, and the adventure of a lifetime was just waiting for her. Without hesitation, she packed her bag with supplies and set off toward the mountains. Ava's first challenge came when she entered the dense waking woods, a magical forest where the trees whispered and the ground seemed to shift. The forest had a mind of its own, and many who entered it never found their way out. As Ava ventured deeper, she could feel the trees watching her, and the forest seemed to hum with energy. Suddenly, the ground trembled, and from the underbrush, a group of enchanted foxes emerged. Their fur shimmered with an iridescent glow, and they circled around Ava. The largest fox, with eyes like polished emeralds, spoke in a voice that echoed in her mind. "You seek the Crystal Cave, do you?" the fox asked. "Many have tried, but few have succeeded. To pass through the waking woods, you must show your courage and kindness." Ava stood tall and replied, "I'm ready to prove myself. What must I do?" The fox's tail flicked in the air. "You must answer this riddle, and only then will you be allowed to pass." The riddle echoed through the forest. "I have keys, but open no locks. I have space, but no room. You can enter, but never leave. What am I?" Ava thought for a moment, and then the answer came to her. "A keyboard." The fox's eyes glimmered with approval. "You have solved the riddle and shown your cleverness. You may pass." With a sweep of its tail, the fox opened a path through the forest, and Ava continued on her journey. As Ava neared the base of the mountain, she encountered the second challenge, a massive chasm with a bridge that stretched across it. The bridge was ancient and made of worn stone, but it was guarded by a fearsome creature, the shadow serpent. The serpent's eyes gleamed with fiery red light as it hissed, "You must defeat me to cross. Only those who have the strength of heart can pass through my domain." Ava's stomach tightened, but she stood firm. "I don't want to fight you," she said. "I just want to find the Crystal Cave. Please let me pass." The serpent's tail lashed, and it sneered. "You must prove your strength of heart by facing your greatest fear. Only then will I let you cross." Ava closed her eyes and thought of her greatest fear, losing her family. But then, she remembered the village she had grown up in, the friends who had always supported her, and the dreams she had of adventure. She realized that facing her fear didn't mean running from it. It meant embracing it and knowing that she was never truly alone. "I am not afraid," Ava declared boldly. "I have my family, my village, and the courage within me. I can face anything." The serpent's glowing eyes softened, and it lowered its massive head. "You have shown true strength. Go ahead, brave one. The bridge is yours." With the serpent's blessing, Ava crossed the Bridge of Shadows and continued her climb up the mountain, where the entrance to the Crystal Cave awaited. At last, Ava stood before the entrance to the Crystal Cave. The cave was hidden behind a waterfall that sparkled in the moonlight. As she entered, she was surrounded by walls of glittering gems, amethyst, ruby, sapphire, all glowing with an inner light. The air was cool and smelled faintly of lavender and magic. But Ava soon realized that the cave was not just a treasure trove. It was alive, with shifting paths and hidden traps. The cave seemed to test her with every step. Giant crystals shot out from the ground, and the air crackled with energy. At the heart of the cave, A giant crystal throne stood, glowing with the brightest light Ava had ever seen. But there, sitting on the throne, was a creature unlike any Ava had ever encountered. A dragon made of light and crystal. The dragon spoke in a voice that reverberated through the cave. "You seek the greatest treasure, child, but the true treasure is not gold or gems. It is something much more precious. What is it that you seek, Ava?" Ava's heart beat faster, but she knew the answer now. "I seek the courage to face any challenge, the wisdom to make the right choices, and the strength to protect the ones I love." The dragon's eyes softened, and it nodded in approval. "You have found the true treasure, the heart of a hero. You are worthy." With a wave of the dragon's paw, a brilliant crystal appeared before Ava. It wasn't a gem, but a glowing orb that shimmered with the light of the stars. "This is the heart of the crystal cave," the dragon said. "It will guide you in all your future adventures." Ava took the crystal, and as she did, the cave began to glow with the light of 1,000 stars, lighting her way out of the cave. Ava returned to her village as a hero, the heart of the crystal cave glowing brightly in her hand. The villagers cheered, but Ava knew that the greatest treasure of all was the journey itself, the courage, kindness, and wisdom she had discovered within herself. And as she stood beneath the twinkling stars, she knew that more adventures awaited. But no matter where she went, she would always carry the light of the crystal cave in her heart.